Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. No football for Chelsea this weekend, but there is always Chelsea news. And today I'm going to be talking about our new director of football who should be joining the club very, very soon. Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah. So guys, if you haven't looked at my YouTube short video, I did an exclusive a few days ago about who our next director of football was going to be. It's by the name of a guy called Christoph Freund. And I just want to talk a little bit about who is Christian Frederik and what can he bring to the club. So we've been crying out for a director of football because Todd Bowley has been taking this position up as an interim position, but now he's identified Christoph Freund as the person that he wants as our director of football. So he's currently, if anyone doesn't know him, you'd have seen him on Wednesday night because he was sitting with RB Salzburg because he's the current RB Salzburg director of football. I think Chelsea have been talking to RB Salzburg. I think terms are now agreed and this move should be announced very, very shortly. But so let me just talk a little bit about Christian Freud and who he is and what he can bring to Chelsea. So Christoph Freund is a 45-year-old Austrian, and he formerly worked under Ralf Rangnick. We all know Ralf, formerly of Manchester United, and known for his wide network of players and being a good sporting director. So he sort of learned his trade under Ralf Rangnick, and whilst he was sporting director for RB Salzburg, he's found players like Emenalo, who Chelsea were linked with not recently, a couple of years ago. He's since went on to play for Bayern Munich. The guy Patson Daka, who's at Leicester City, and Amadou Haidara, another one who's been linked with Chelsea, and he's also responsible for spotting the talents of Brendan Aronson. You know, the guy who scored a goal for us, against us, for the talented American. He plays for Leeds United now. And if we look further, we look at the Liverpool trio of Minamino, there's Nabukater, and more important, Sadio Mane. So again, and we all know about the Manchester City player Erling Haaland. He was responsible for spotting him at a young age. And, you know, look out for Benjamin Sesko, the guy who's joined RB Leipzig now. Had a decent game against us, and he's probably going to be the next big thing. And you know, he's only 18. His career is going to get better and better and better. So he's great at spotting talent. And I've been crying out for that for someone like him for ages at Chelsea, because we always want to get the already established players. So that's not the way that we're going to be operating under the new owners, Bowley and the consortium. We want to be finding value for money. We want to be looking at the data. He's great at data analysis as well, looking at the data about how to bring in the next best thing. And so rather than spending like 80-90 million on a finished article, we'll be getting in players who we can turn into the next superstar. And we haven't had a sporting director since Michael Emenalo at Chelsea. And the reason I mention Michael Emenalo is because he started this vision. I know a lot of Chelsea fans didn't rate this guy, but you know, this guy Emenalo, you know, he was brought in and he worked to his remit. First of all, he was brought in to find the next best superstars and to bring in players for the loan army who we can sell on for a fortune. And so a lot of people are saying, okay, they mentioned people like Dili Borgi and players like that, and who's a German Messi, Marco Marin and people like that. But if you look at what we did with those players, we brought them in and we sold them on for a profit. So again, he did do his job there, because he bought, so these guys were never ever going to be superstars at Chelsea. But if they did for some reason make it at Chelsea, then we can keep them. If they didn't, then we sell them on. And so yeah, job done. But he was the one who brought in the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. He brought in Mo Salah. He brought in Lukaku Mark 1. And had these guys stayed and developed at Chelsea, then you'd have seen us not having to fork out big money, and we would have had players who would have served us for a few good years. So Chelsea fans, we're seeing a different model. We're bringing this model back now, and hopefully we can have a manager who's patient enough to be able to see these players through. Because the only flaw, what happened with under the old regime, is that when we brought back Jose Mourinho, all the hard work done by Emenalo was undone by Jose Mourinho wanting a quick fix and selling these players that he bought for the future. And then we had Chelsea fans crying and moaning about, why did we sell these players too early? But now, first of all, getting in the manager. That's why I think Thomas Tuchel didn't really want to work and develop these younger players, and he's already said that it's not his job to develop players; it's his job to win things. Yeah. So Potter, I think he's going to come in and try to develop players, and Potter has given his blessing to Christoph Freund's appointment. So hopefully we'll have them working in synergy. Hopefully, a great talent spotting and data analysis of Freund, and then bringing in players who can be the next Erling Haalands, the next De Bruynes, the next Manes, the next Minaminos, and people like that. So, we as a fan base have to be patient. That's what I'm saying, because the getting in these big name players hasn't worked out for us, has it? When's the last time we bought in a massive name player and it's worked out for us? I know it's early days not early days. We've had 2 seasons now of Havertz. We've bought with big money. Yet to see is him fulfill his potential. Let's not start talking about strikers. Lukaku, bought him back. Lukaku Mark 2, I'm talking about. Not done it for us. Morata, hasn't worked out for us. Werner, hasn't worked out for us. So there's loads and loads of players that we brought in who were supposed to be the finished articles, but what have they done for us? Nothing. So this Todd Bowley, Clear Lake regime know that what we can do, we can get these players in, and then we can spend big on maybe one player, like what Real Madrid used to on the Galactico. Let's spend, rather than spending this year, we spent 250 million on 5 players or so, 6 players. Spend 150 million on one player, and there you go. Had we had this model before, when we were linked with Erling Haaland last season and the numbers didn't add up, that's because we wasn't only Haaland we had to get in, there's other players that we had to get in. So had we had players who can come into the side, then we could afford to splash out on one mega superstar player. So guys, it's good times for us. We're finally getting in a director of football, someone who knows how to spot talent, somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to talent ID. So let's get behind him, and hopefully everything will work out. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about this appointment. Are you happy with him, or would you have wanted somebody else? Are you happy to be patient and wait for these stars to develop, or do you think that we haven't got that time on our hands? What do you think? Stick your comments in the section below, and don't forget, as always, to like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications so you'll be notified every time I make a new video. So take care. Bye bye.